Hey squad, welcome back. Now today's video is all about building your own custom Apple Loops library. Now one of the great features about having your own library is, you know, those go-to samples, effects and musical elements that you use from time to time? Rather than having to hunt around your computer to find them, all you need to do is dip into your custom Apple Loops library and pull them straight into your arrangement. Now remember, you can create both audio loops as well as MIDI loops, and I'll be demonstrating both of those in this tutorial. Finally, another great feature offered by the Apple Loop library is, remember, when you pull an audio loop into your arrangement, into your production, it will automatically adjust to your tempo. So whether you speed up or slow down your track, that Apple Loop will adjust, and that's a fantastic feature which I'm sure will help you out. Anyway, remember to like the video if you're feeling it, subscribe to the channel and drop me a comment. It's always great hearing from you. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so let's kick things off with this arrangement right here. So I've got some drums, I've got some sweeps, some uplifters. Down here I've got some hi-hats, which we'll come to in a minute. So now let me just play this back so you get an idea as to what's going on. Let's open this up. Okay, so that's the vibe so far. Now, the whole point of the exercise is to be able to create and store your own Apple Loops. Now, let's take this sweep right here and solo this so you can hear what's going on. Okay, so this one's sweeping downwards, okay? And this region is 4 bars in length, and it starts at bar 37, finishes at bar 41. Okay, things such as sweeps are very useful effects that I often store in my custom Apple Loops library. The reason being, I use them quite a bit, and I tend to use the same sweeps, but I modify them using effects, and probably from time to time I adjust the length, but it's very handy to keep them in my Apple Loops library, which that way I won't have to go hunting around for them whenever I need them. So to convert this audio region into an Apple Loop is real simple. All you do is you control click on the region itself, come to export and then add to loop library. Right, now you get this option right here where we can name it. So I'm going to call this sweep 001, for example. Pay close attention to the fact that we've got loop selected right here. Scale, I'm going to switch to any. Genre, I'm just going to choose electronic for now. Down here, you've got instrument descriptors that you can choose from. I'm going to use textures. Okay, and over here, you can choose something that sort of fits what you're doing. I'll go for fill. Let's use that. Okay, now I hit create. And as you can see, Logic has looped this section up to 8 bars while it's doing the processing. And now if we come over to our Apple Loops library and click on the icon there, and you come up top here to where it says loops, click on all genres and then go to my loops. Now you'll see sweep 001. If we click on that, here you go. So 16 beats in length, and the tempo at which this loop was created is memorized as well, and that's there stored in my loop library. Letter O on the keyboard also can be used as a shortcut. There you go, that switches that on and off. Okay, let's try something else. So down here, we've got some hi-hats. Let's hear them with the beat. Right, now this is a pattern that I might use again in future. It's real simple, and I'd love to be able to get to that real quick without having to build it again from scratch. So what I'm going to do the same thing. If we come to this, select the region and I control click again, come down to export, add to loop library. Okay. Oh, now we have a problem. We want to create a loop, but that's been grayed out. We can create the naming, we can do all the other bits, but we can't create our loop. Now that is because now our loop needs to be a full 4 bars in order for this to work. So to get around this, let's delete this part to start off with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to repeat this region right here. So now the key command is Command R to repeat. Then I'm going to line it up like so. The region ends in the correct place. I'm then going to highlight the two, J on the keyboard to join them together. Let's join that. Okay, so it's now one long region. And now I'm going to split this at bar 41. Bar 41, split that, delete this, and move this back to here. Now let's have a listen to that. Perfect. What I'm going to do as well is I'm going to come up here to the region inspector, and I'm just going to put 1 unit fade in on there and 1 unit fade out on the end, so we don't get any glitching. Let's try this again. So this time, Control, we're just going to come up here and choose Add to Loop Library, and there we have it. The loop option is now available, and now I'm going to call this Open Hats 001. You can name it whatever you like. I'm going to go to all drums, hi-hat, acoustic. Let's take off fill. Let's take off single, any. I'm going to use house. Let's do that for now. Okay, hit create. And now it's done. We'll press O on the keyboard. Again, we come up to My Loops at the top here. And let's click on Open Hats 001. There you go. Now let's say I wanted to pull that into my arrangement. I'll grab that and drag and drop down here. Let's take the solo off. Let's mute that. O on the keyboard to close that window. Let's have a listen to this. Now the great thing about loops as well is they will adjust to tempo. So listen to this. Let's slow that down. There we go. So our tempo was 108 when we created this loop. Let's take it up to 120. Let's see what happens then. Okay, everything else has adjusted because these have not got any flex on them. So let's have a listen to our loop now. Now that has been time compressed. Let's take it down to 110. How about 80? There you go. So that's one of the great things about converting to Apple Loops is the fact that you can adjust the tempo of your arrangement and the loop will adjust as well in time with your tempo setting. All right, so let's try something else. Now, how about this sweep right here? Okay, cool. Now, of course, like we said, our sweep starts at bar 33, but runs over. And the problem we have is the fact that we're not going to be able to convert this into an Apple loop unless it actually completes as a 4-bar or an 8-bar loop. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create 4 bars in a loop right here. So to there. And now I'm going to hover over the bottom corner of this audio region. I'm going to hold down my Option key and I'm going to pull this back to here. Okay. And now I've compressed that down. I can now, of course, convert this into a new loop. But before that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make, while it's selected, I'm going to hit reverse. Okay. And I'm going to turn it into an uplifter. Okay. So have a listen to it on its own. Okay, so instead of it going down, doing a reverse, and I'm going to send it upwards. And now let's convert that into an Apple loop. What I'm going to do, in fact, I'm going to just adjust the volume, hold down the Option key and click volume fader. And now I'm going to convert. Let's convert this to an Apple loop. Okay, and once again, I'm going to call this sweep up 001. Okay, loop is selected, scale, any scale. Instrument, effects, let's choose effects here, and I'm going to choose ambience, create, let it do its processing. Okay, now I can switch off the solo, let's come back to our loops library. And right here, as you can see, I've got my sweep up. So let's drop this down here and let's just play that back. So let's adjust the volume here, pull this down a bit. If you noticed from my previous loops where I created a loop of my open hi-hats, I didn't adjust the volume fader. So it's a good idea to set your volume fader to unity gain by clicking Option, click on the volume fader, and make sure that when your loop is playing back, before you convert it to an Apple loop, make sure that you're not clipping here, okay? And now if I play this back, great. And if I was to solo this and adjust the tempo to go up to, like, say 130, let's have a listen to that. And it fits perfectly within our 4-bar section. Now, the great thing about Apple loops is that you're not restricted to only creating audio loops. You can also create MIDI loops as well. So let's try something out here. So we've still got our drums and we've got our sweeps right here. They're in track stacks, so they're all confined in their folders just to give us a bit more space on screen. So the arrangement's exactly the same. Great. So now what I want to do is I want to create a muted guitar part to go along with this. So I'm going to create a brand new software instrument track. So I'm going to switch to no plugin and I'm going to slide back here to Legacy, GarageBand, guitars, and I'm going to look for a muted guitar. So let's just come down here, scroll down here to muted electric. Okay. Right, that's what I want. So I'm just going to create a simple guitar part to go along with this arrangement right here. And it's a sort of guitar part that I might well use again in the future. Okay, so let's play this back. Okay, that sort of thing. Let me just record that. Okay, so that's now nicely recorded. Let's get into the part itself. And I just want to focus on the notes played. So, and let's just zoom out a bit like so. Okay, now some of these notes, the velocity was a bit too high, so I'm going to reduce the velocity. So I'm going to say a maximum velocity of about 70. As you can see down here, that note is reading 70. This one's 106, but I think 70 is a good one. I'm going to use a key command, command 9, choose fixed velocity. Okay, and I'm going to choose here max and tell this I want a maximum velocity of 70. Enter and select and operate. Okay, let's play that back now. Great. Okay, that's sounding nice. I haven't quantized it in any way, but what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to quantize it. Let's Command A to select all and Q to quantize. Okay, and now let's get back into our transform window. Command 9. Okay, and now I'm going to choose this function right here, humanize. Okay, so I'm going to tell Logic to humanize my playing, and we're going to humanize the velocity, but not by that much actually. I'm going to bring down, so the shift is going to probably be about, let's call it 5 increments. I want to adjust the note position, okay, because I want the note position to be adjusted so it feels a bit more human. So over here we've got random selected, and I'm going to change this actually up. Let's change that to So that's going to be a plus or minus 20 there. Now let's see what that gives us. If we hit select and operate, and let's have a look at the region, at the notes themselves. So now, as we can see here, this is slightly late. This one's on the beat. Let's kind of slide back here a bit. Anything early, that's a bit later. So we're going to get a bit more of a laid back feel. This one is just a little bit early, which is cool. Let's have a listen. Okay, great. So now we have our muted guitar part, but we want to add some effects to this. So here's a little trick you can use. What you do is you create a brand new track. We're going to create a guitar or bass track. Hit create just there. Switch off the input monitor. And if we scroll back right here, you'll see in the library right here, we've got electric guitar and bass. We've got all of these effects plugin options. So these are all presets. We're going to go with clean. And let's start from the top and work our way through, okay? Now, we're using this as a reference track, and we're going to copy the plugins from this track and paste them onto our muted guitar track just to see which one works best for us. So let's start with Amazing Tweed at the top. Once that's loaded, right here, as you can see at the top here, we're going to use the key command, Command Option C, to copy the channel strip setting, and we're going to come to the muted electric. We're going to click and hold here, and we're going to choose paste plugins only. And now we have the same plugins here and here. Have a listen to that. Let's try something a bit more radical. Of course, you'll work your way through until you find something that really works for you. Let's try something like Echo Studio. Let's choose that one. Command Option C. And now we come to our muted guitar. And once again, come up top here and click Paste Plugins Only. Okay, let's have a listen to that one. Okay, cool. That's nice. There's a major change there. So I'm just going to reduce some of the delay so it's not so heavy. Okay, let's hear that with the track. Okay, cool. Let's run with that. Okay, let's close the library, Y on the keyboard. And now we're going to convert this MIDI part into an Apple loop. So let's just pull this in a bit. Now this exercise is important because we want to be able to maintain all of the settings that we've got here, as well as save this region as an Apple loop. So we're going to control click, add to loop library, call this, let's call it muted guitar. Not sure why it's sitting over here, but that's fine. Select guitars, electric. This can actually work for both, because the only notes I'm using are G and F. I'm going to choose funk as my genre, electric, processed, and electric. I'm just going to leave it like that for now. Create. Okay, we're done. Let's go to our loop library. This is one I created from before. What we're going to do is we're going to go to My Loops, All Genres. I'm going to go back into My Loops, and the new one, which I just created, is called Muted Guitar. Previous one, which was without the effects, is this one. Okay. And this is Muted Guitar. So let's drag this and drop this down here, and let's see what we get. Okay, and as you can see, this is our muted guitar. Let's mute this one. This is our Apple loop. Just put a quick bass line on as well. Okay, cool. Hopefully that's making sense to you. Now, there's one last thing that I want to show you that will also help you out. So let's go back to our loop library. Click on loop library, and now we're going to come to muted electric. Now, I'm not going to use this in the future. How do I get rid of it? And this is one of the things that I think Apple should address in future. How to clear maybe a custom loop that we've created and we don't want to use anymore. You can't right click or control click or command click or option click to try and get rid of it. It is a bit of a mission, in fact, to clear that. So I'm going to show you how you can do this. So what you need to do is you need to copy this command. I'll have this in the description below. All you need to do is copy this right here. Copy, go to your Finder, and then click go to folder, and then paste in here. Go to folder, click go. Now you want to go to audio, Apple loops, user loops, and here we are. Now I want to get rid of muted electric. If I was to delete that, as you can see, muted electric is now grayed out. Let's go to all genres. And now what we want to do is come down to re-index all loops. So if I'm going to hit that, and I'm going to let Logic run through the re-indexing, it's going to take a minute or two. And then when we come back, let's see what happens. Now, as you can see, muted electric is gone. Great stuff. I really do hope you found the video useful. If you did, drop me a line in the comment section, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. This will really help me out. Now remember to support me at deucebeats.com as well as on my social media channels. And finally, switch on that notification bell so just like the rest of the MTTC squad, you will find out as soon as my next video drops. Until next time, I'm Dr. Deuce. Peace.